Hello, hello. What's up, guys? You are watching The Couch Casuals, and I'm your host, Robert Dylan Vasquez. Here, today, at this time, I am with my host of all hosts, the beautiful, the handsome, the never forget, always remember in your head at night or in the morning, my boy.
What's up, gang? It's your boy, Kyle Diorio, and we're here. We're here to break down UFC 313. This card is all right. This card is all right.
It's okay.
It's a little top heavy. You know, it's going to be incredibly top heavy, but we've had a falling out in the co-main event. Tatted Dan Hooker is out with a broken hand. Ruffy Fiziev is in to fill in, I guess, Justin Gaethje for the co-main. Is it still a 5-round fight?
I believe so. I don't see why they would have, I don't know.
Well, sometimes, with these fill-ins, there's concessions made one way or the other. So, yeah.
Fiziev, however you say it, he's always ready. I don't know about a 5-round.
He's definitely game.
Sure.
Game. Yeah. There's kind of a Curtis Blaydes is fighting a newcomer to the UFC as the prelim main event. And I'm kind of interested in watching this fight because UFC lists this guy as 2-0 in the heavyweight division.
And that's a UFC record or an MMA record?
He has no fights in the UFC, so I don't know what's going on here. He's got no information on the UFC website.
I mean, he has to be some kind of kickboxer or...
He's from Dagestan.
So he's a wrestler.
He's definitely a wrestler, right?
Probably Olympic level. Yeah.
I want to know more about this guy because it's anytime I see a very top rated guy fighting somebody with no information, it piques a little bit of interest in my head. Like, who is this guy? What's going on?
Because it's not like Curtis Blaydes has fallen off.
No, he's number 5.
I mean,
that's crazy.
And you said earlier that there's no real information on a fallout or a last minute replacement.
I couldn't find anything. Oh, he was supposed to fight Curtis in February. So apparently he was supposed to fight someone in December. He won in the Contender Series.
Okay.
He had a no contest in PFL. And prior to that fight, he was in Eagle FC.
Sure.
So I don't know. Eagle FC, that's Khabib's, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. This could be a big deal. This could be a newcomer, maybe a new CCMA favorite. I'm very intrigued in this fight.
All right.
So that's the shout out to the prelims there.
I don't really think I have anybody. Which that might be. I want to say that there was somebody on this card. Go ahead. I'll look it up.
I don't know. I got on the prelims. I mean, Alex Morono's fighting pretty early on the prelims.
The Great White.
Yeah, it's Alex Morono. So who cares?
I don't like his face, man.
He just doesn't. He's a goofy looking dude. But yeah, apparently the Curtis Blaydes Rizvan Kuniev was supposed to be the headliner for UFC Seattle, and due to lack of fights on this card, they had to move that.
Rizvan?
We're getting some Rizvan.
That's insane.
Rizvan, yeah.
No, I swear I saw somebody that I knew. Oh, Chris Gutierrez. Apparently his opponent.
Okay.
Apparently his opponent is to be announced, which is never good. A week out.
I was about to say because I don't see him on the UFC's website for the card at all.
I think it was on. I looked at ESPN. It's those guys can't get their freaking.
Well, the UFC website sometimes I feel like doesn't have as much information as some of these other places do, which is weird.
Right.
But anyway, are you ready for the main card?
Yeah, let's go, dude.
Let's go into the main card. We have King Green, the artist formerly known as Bobby King Green, going up against Mauricio Ruffy. This could be a very interesting striking fight.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm all about a Bobby Green fight. Anytime
I'm all about these fighting nerds, dude. They are fun to watch.
They are, dude.
They have an interesting striking style that I don't think anyone else has.
That's shoot to box. That Brazilian style of, yeah, sure, we're gonna spar hard, but we're seeing stuff that, I mean, they got Charles Oliveira, they got Hoofy. Who else do they have? There's another one.
I'm pulling it up now because I'm very interested. Wow, they got a lot of people. Well, these must be some people outside the UFC as well. We have Carlos Prates. Trying to just list people I know I've seen in the UFC. Jean Lord Silva. That's the guy that's going to kill Bryce Mitchell in their upcoming fight.
Excuse me?
Mauricio Hoofy. Yeah, those probably your big three UFC contenders. They had a lot of people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of people on the team. Mauricio Hoofy, I feel like, is one of their young stars on the rise.
I guess we'll see, dude.
I guess we'll see. I'm very interested in this fight. This is going to be a fun one. I genuinely believe that. What do you got? What do you think?
I mean, you know how much I love the Brazilian fight camps. I can't get enough.
You're a big fan of Brazilians, right?
Yeah, 100%. If you look at any of our really early episodes, it was kind of like I had unfiltered love for the Brazilians.
Unfiltered love, yeah, that's what I'd call it.
No, man, I don't have that guy beating Bryce Mitchell, but that's another card. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's in the future.
I mean, I got Hoofy, man. I really like him. I really enjoy his fighting style.
I'm going Hoofy. I think he gets it done. I think he gets it done quick in the first or second round.
Really?
Sub,
knockout, TKO,
knockout. TKO knockout. I like these guys. I like their style. They're interesting. They're different. There's something fresh, something new. I think one of these guys is going to rise to the top. I think Hoofy could be the one to do that.
Against King Green?
Bobby King Green. He's a vet. I know. I like Bobby. I love Bobby. But, man, he's getting up there. He got absolutely demolished by Patty the Batty Pimblett.
Sure. Got hit in the back of the head a lot by the tarantula.
Yeah, that happened as well. Bobby's always game.
Sure.
I don't know. I think I just think Hoofy's got it. I think Hoofy's the man here.
I got Hoofy by decision.
That's fair. That's a fair one.
I mean, I would change my pick in general, but I mean, I really just don't. I like Bobby Green. I really do. King Green. Sorry.
King Green, officially, legally King.
I gotta
Green.
stop using his dead name.
I know we got to.
King Green. There's a flip, and I don't think that flip has done him too much since he's changed his name. You know, it used to be Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, and then he eventually just started racking up cash, and now it's Money Mayweather, which is fine because he's still the same Mayweather. This whole changing your name to King and then you let a Scouser come in and dethrone you, choking you unconscious. We'll see. We'll see. I hope
that was a tough fight.
I hope
Bobby tries to take Patty down. That was weird.
Weird.
That was very weird.
I hope
he did his way.
I hope the wheels are greased. I hope everything is on point for Bobby that night. King. I hope everything is on point for King that night, and I hope he gets his crown back, or else Hoofy's gonna beat the brakes off of him for 3 rounds. Go ahead.
Okay, so you want King to win, but you're going Hoofy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're keeping it center right now.
Sure.
Anything else you'd like to say about Mr. King, Mr. Hoofy here?
Go Bobby.
All right, go Hoofy. Next, we have a women's strawweight bout. Amanda Lemos versus Iasmin Lucindo.
I'm 100% sure you got that right.
I feel pretty confident with that one.
Where's she from?
Brazil.
Oh, two Brazilians?
Two Brazilians, number 5, number 7. Lucindo, her face, she literally looks like a 5-year-old in the face. At least in this particular picture. Maybe she does it normally, but
sure.
She's very, very young in the face.
Sure.
But I don't know if I've ever seen her fight before. I'm sure I possibly have, but Iasmin Lucindo. Oh yeah, she definitely don't look like a 5-year-old there.
Ugh.
Yeah, she's she got weird pictures on here. She just looks odd in her pictures.
Oh man.
It's yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Iasmin.
Are you familiar with your current beef with Amanda Lemo?
I have current beef.
You called her Amanda Lemo.
When did I call her that?
It was
when
a couple.
Lost to Zhang, maybe.
It was a good couple cards.
I don't even remember the last time we talked about Amanda Lemos.
Dude, you straight up were like, yeah, I think it was either you were picking against her or something. And I hate that her CCMMA relevancy is shitting on her. But I heard that and we literally ripped her a new one.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna change here. She's top ranked, but like I don't think I've ever watched an Amanda Lemos fight where I was like, dang, this girl's good. You know?
No, it doesn't exist.
It's not there. I'm picking Iasmin Lucindo.
Is that E or I?
It's Iasmin.
Yeah, I got her.
Yeah, that's fair.
I got her by a boring decision.
Yeah, very boring. Well, maybe not. I have not seen enough for her to make any declarations on what I think she's going to do here. Maybe she'll come out and just destroy Amanda Lemos.
It's a woman fight. No.
Sir! He's going to take a bathroom break during this fight.
Sure. That's when I go get another drink or two. No, man, I hope for a very spirited contest between the both of them. I'm hoping for a war. I'm hoping for these ladies to show up and show out, as always.
Well, hopefully so. You never know. Even with the worst of fighters, sometimes you see some crazy fights. So you can never really fully expect something, even if you have a good inclination.
True.
You ready to move on? Are we going into the next fight? I got nothing else to say.
Please, let's go.
Let's go. All right. Jalen, the Tarantula Turner, number 13, lightweight in the world versus Ignacio Bahamondes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I told you before the show, I got a lot to say about Jalen Turner.
Yeah, which is surprising, but I'll let you ride.
So Jalen Turner has been in this position now where, you know, I think a lot of the experts and a lot of the top guys are like, oh man, Jalen Turner, you know, he's got all the skills of the world. He's up and comer, you know. Jalen Turner has been an up and coming fighter for 10 years, it feels like. Jalen Turner has done, I used to really like, you know, I was pretty big on Jalen Turner like 5 years ago, it feels like.
Sure.
The guy is in this position, and I don't see it anymore. I don't see I don't see him ever getting to the top of the lightweight. He's lost to Moicano. He's lost to Dan Hooker. He's lost to Gamrot. His last win was against Riddell. And, well, was the Turner, Jalen Turner versus Bobby King Green fight, was that overturned?
I don't know why it would be, but I feel like that's more recent than not. It was before the Patty fight, though.
Yeah, it shows no result on UFC.com, and sometimes I don't know why. Like, they just don't list a winner sometimes. I'm like, what happened here? Let me look it up somewhere else.
So basically what you're saying is Jalen to the Tarantula Turner, he's basically lightweight's Neil Magny.
That's what it feels like, man. I need to see something big out of this guy. He's on a 3-fight skid. Well, all right, no, he's not on a 3-fight skid technically because the King Green, but he's 1-4 in his last. Well, he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights.
That doesn't sound like gatekeeper. That's good news.
No,
but
1-3 is not good.
How are you still 13?
Yeah, how are you still top 15 ranked being 1-3? I don't understand.
That's maybe at the time he beat Bobby, and then he gave Dan Hooker a real good fight, dude.
I mean, he did.
Broke his arm, dude. Broke his arm, which he lost to a guy with a broken arm. But
I'm not even saying I don't think Jalen Turner is. I'm not saying he's bad. I think he's a great fighter, but it just feels like he's been in this. Oh, he's one step away position for like forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That being said, I don't know much about his opponent, Ignacio Bahamondes.
I believe this guy's a killer.
Okay.
I think he is. Because he's from the Contender Series now.
I would imagine so. I'll look it up. I imagine that's probably where he's coming from.
I feel like he hit a crazy spinning kick on someone. Either it was in the Apex, and that's why it might not be Contender Series. It might be Apex. I remember him just beating the brakes off this other guy. And then I might be getting people mixed up, but I feel like his last opponent whooped the dog shit out of him for at least a good 40 seconds. Like, he just had nowhere to go. He was gassed up against the cage. Could be wrong. It could be somebody else.
All right. So I'm looking at his history. He was on the Contender Series back in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the UFC ever since. He's fought on UFC 287 and 306 and a bunch of fight nights. Manuel Torres was his last fight, knocked him out in round 1. He knocked out Christos Giagos. He lost to Ludovic Klein. Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of KOs, a couple decisions.
I have the wrong guy then. I have the wrong guy. So throw out everything I just said about him getting his ass whooped.
Who you thinking here?
I mean, if I'm thinking with my head.
Think with your head.
I'm going with Ignacio, man. Ignacio! I mean, he's what, minus 115 from Chile?
On UFC.com, they have them both at minus 110.
They got to get their stuff together.
UFC, I gotta stop using UFC's website for their own cards because I feel like I'm missing information every time I'm on it.
I mean, I'm on ESPN. I
guess that's the place to be.
You would think. But I got Bahamondes.
Yeah, I think I do too. I can't go in on Jalen like that and then pick him.
But I got him anyways.
But I got him anyway. No, we're going to Bahamondes. We're staying true here, and I have a good feeling. I don't know. Are we going to split it all this fight?
Who knows?
I don't know. We'll see here shortly.
We might, you
ready for the co-main?
Sure.
All right, we got our boy Justin the Highlight Gaethje, number 3 lightweight, fighting Rafael Fiziev, who's taking this on short notice. Was supposed to be Dan Hooker, broke his hand.
What a loss!
Unfortunately,
loss, dude.
Gaethje versus Hooker could have been fight of the year material, but almost any fight Justin Gaethje's in could be fight of the year material. So
sure.
We're not missing out too much. We were still getting Justin versus Rafael Fiziev, who is a kickboxer.
Beautiful striker.
Should be a fun fight no matter what. Both of these guys are coming off a loss. Should be interesting. It should be really interesting.
Yeah, dude. Like you were alluding to earlier, don't know if it's still going to be 5 rounds. The Hooker fight was supposed to be 5 rounds. It sounds kind of shitty for the UFC to try to come in and be like, hey, I know this is short notice, but it's still 5 rounds. I know Gaethje's training for a 5-round fight. I believe it was a 3-round fight the first time that they fought.
I believe it was.
So if Gaethje's ready for a 5-round, that means he can expend more energy in that in that little bit of time that he has, and put on a show. That's all we need, man. When you lose a big fight like that, and it was a big fight, just because it wasn't main event doesn't take away from it.
Yeah, no, that was a big fight.
The attraction of it being, honestly, a huge lightweight fight.
I was so hyped for that fight.
Very, very. And I had to break the news to you, and I apologize.
I cried.
Gaethje whooped him so bad the first time, and not so bad to where he put him out and went out on a stretcher, but it was a back and forth bloodbath.
Yeah. It's hard to see anything change between now and then. I mean, yeah, Justin's coming off the pretty brutal KO to Max, but Fiziev just got knocked out by Gamrot, or finished by Gamrot. He's on a 2-fight skid. But he's only had, it's been Justin and then Gamrot. So top contenders, and that was both in 2023. So he hasn't fought in over a year now. And then Justin hasn't fought since UFC 300. So, I mean, it's been a long time between fights for both of these guys, which is kind of crazy.
And they're both up there in age, right?
They're both higher 30s, maybe mid 30s. Hell, UFC 300 was almost a year ago.
Almost.
Yeah.
And we're still suffering from that hangover.
Yeah, UFC 300 void was pretty crazy. We're finally slowly getting out of it, but man, it took a while.
We're getting a lot of top heavy cards.
Yeah. It is what it is. Man, yeah, I don't see this going any differently. I see Justin Gaethje getting the dub.
How?
Probably decision.
Decision?
I think we get maybe the same exact fight we got 2 years ago. Maybe not. Maybe Fiziev has been finely tuning his abilities, and maybe he's going to come out a whole different animal. And maybe the knockout to Max took something away. Who knows? I'm still picking Justin.
Sure. Justin Gaethje actually recently came out and was like, look, I found success in not going all in and kind of staying on the outskirts and picking my shots. That's not the way I want to fight. And I was like, all right.
That could be dangerous.
All right, dude. So that's for Rafael Fiziev. I feel like it's not good news.
That's not good news.
It's not something you want to read on the socials, that Justin Gaethje's throwing caution to the wind.
You think he would say that because it's very unlikely that he gets back to a title shot?
It'd be very difficult for Justin to get to a title shot and to win against Islam.
Sure. That's the only one he hasn't fought. Islam.
Yeah.
Which he got Mount Triangle choked by Habib. I don't really see how you could.
I don't see any difference.
Whatever. Whatever.
Islam is just a younger Khabib at this point.
With striking.
I don't. Maybe he's in his Mike Chandler era where it's just time to entertain the fans and make money.
Sure, and then
it's not a bad place to be.
I want to say like 5 fights ago, maybe 4, maybe even 3 fights ago, Gaethje was like, "Look, it's a car crash every single time I go to fight. I'm only going to fight a handful of times more."
That's fair. I mean, he's in violent
fights every time he steps into the octagon, and that takes a lot out of you.
This is no different. I have Justin Gaethje by TKO, not flash knockout.
Okay, that's very fair.
I mean, he's hitting. He's not doing the Nick Diaz where he's pop, 30%, 40%, ripping 90. He's just hitting often and hard.
Kind of like against
Tony
T. Ferg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the
R.I.P.
most brutal fights ever.
R.I.P. Dude. Tony's not dead. He's just evicted to the Grandpa Fighting League.
He's in the GFL. He's gonna fight a joke of a fight.
Dylan Dennis.
Very sad.
Very.
Tony needs to give it up.
I mean, that's a winnable fight. I'll tell you that.
It's very winnable.
Anyways, Trevor Whitman, he's like, you're not going to put Tony away. Just take about 20% off of your shots and just make sure you're landing. And the damage will accrue and occur.
And it did.
Oh, it did.
I don't think I've ever watched a fight where I thought, this is one of the fights where someone could die.
Yeah.
And it was mostly because Tony was taking shots that should have put him down and just didn't.
It's Tony Ferg.
He looked. Yeah, he was. That took so much out of that fight. Took so much out of him. I feel like.
Damn it, Habib. Anyways, Fiziev kind of the same thing when they had their fight, went to a decision. It didn't go down, man. So if Justin just puts a little more pepper on his shots, I feel like he could get a TKO, especially with Gamrot being able to finish Rafael.
Yeah, I don't see anything changing here. Hopefully we get, Justin gets to maybe take the Hooker fight later on down the road, or maybe he calls out the champ.
Islam, he was saying, he's like, look, he's the only guy I haven't fought. I want some fresh meat in the division. Let's go.
Even coming off the loss to Max, if you get a knockout and you just make your call at number 3,
but it doesn't translate the other way. If Fiziev gets the knockout a knockout over Gaethje, he doesn't just take that spot.
No.
So we'll see.
Not quite. Anything else you'd like to say here?
Heal soon, Dan Hooker.
Please, Dan, we miss you already. On to the main event.
The main event.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Alex Poatan Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev.
Do you want to go first or me?
I mean, you just gonna pick? You just ready to pick?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give a little soliloquy.
Okay, good. You seem very excited. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you start this one off.
All right, let me ride for a second, bro.
Let him do his thing.
This whole thing about fighters ducking fighters, it just simply does not happen on a level that doesn't include business. We saw it a couple weeks now, maybe a month or two ago. Jamal Hill pulls up on Alex Pereira and goes, "What's up now?" And what does Alex do? Hands him a pair of gloves. Oh, no, I don't fight for free. Business. If that was anywhere else that didn't have to include business, those two would have fought. Fighters don't duck each other because they're afraid or the fear of losing your title, sure. Alex has 3 different divisions he could go and fight in. 185 drains him a little much. He could go fight heavyweight tomorrow.
Yep.
All that being said, I think the time that this fight takes place is during Ramadan. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would have to line those up. Ramadan is not only food fasting until sundown, it's water fasting. If that's correct, I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's also water fasting, and that's really not good if you're trying to train and trying to compete, because you need that, to at least stay a little bit in the game. That aside, business aside, I'm ready for this motherfucker to shut him up. And what I mean by that is I'm ready for Alex to silence and shut the lights out on Magomed Ankalaev. This guy, Ankalaev, thinks he's box office. He went to a draw with Jan Blachowicz, where he just leg kicked him the whole time. He doesn't. The Hulk, Ian Cutelaba. He, first of all, we've talked about this ad nauseum about the first fight where Ian Cutelaba, he's like faking like he's dizzy. Does it a little too much, and the ref calls it. You didn't really win that fight. The second fight, you did knock him out, which I was super impressed by because you're Snoozeville. Haven't really seen much of your wrestling. Apparently, you have a lot of it. I've seen clips from where he's wrestled Sean Strickland, and I'm going a little long on this, but
Do you think?
I want Alex to wreck this guy. I want him to send him to Pluto into another stratosphere. I want this guy to get hit right here so his third eye opens and he recognizes he is not the guy that he thinks he is. That being said, give me Ankalaev by WrestleFuck.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Break my heart.
Sorry.
Robert.
Sorry.
You're picking with your head.
Obviously. Alex is my favorite Brazilian of all time. I love Charlie Olives. You know, I like some other ones. But
He likes some.
I like some.
All right.
Ankalaev. Everyone thinks he's going to WrestleFuck Alex. It's kind of the prevailing thought is like when he gets in there with the real wrestler, it's going to be over. Ankalaev is not a thoroughbred wrestler.
No. And we haven't seen that. I don't know why everybody thinks that.
I mean, you think it.
Well,
That's what you peg, right? He has not done that in any fight that I've seen. I mean, I'm sure there's one out there where he did. He got drawed by Jan Blachowicz' leg kicks. That was all Jan had in that fight were leg kicks, and he demolished Ankalaev's legs. Alex is going to break those legs. You don't see Alex's leg kicks coming. They hit harder. They're fast. They like whip. It's like a bat whipping around your knee. Ankalaev has a path to victory that other fighters have not had. It's still there. It's very possible that he is able to take Alex down and maybe hold him. But I don't see it happening. Alex is on top of his game. Alex is the most intimidating fighter in the UFC, and he's going to knock out Ankalaev in this fight.
Chama.
I am not picking against Alex ever again.
You know that. I know that. I'm just channeling my inner JC from this past weekend.
Alex Pereira is the box office draw in the UFC right now, bar none.
Yep.
John Jones, Justin,
Bilal Muhammad. Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right.
And Alex, there were always,
Ankalaev, oh, he's ducking me. He's afraid to fight me. Alex takes the fight. It's on now, Ankalaev.
Now what?
Alex is the champ, but all that shit talking, you're here to prove yourself.
The pressure is on you.
Which there's a reason he hasn't got a title fight. It was that boring ass draw.
He lost.
I mean, I guess if you're in a title fight and you come to a draw, you both lost the title because you didn't win it. So you lost your title attempt against Jan. You didn't get it. You weren't booked immediately because you did nothing to impress upon the UFC that you deserved an immediate rematch or to fight whoever was next up.
True.
Which I think would have been Yuri getting the title right after that, and then his injury, and then Jamal Hill, and then Alex. You've knocked out Johnny Walker. Whoop-de-doo.
I mean,
you beat Alexander Rakic in a pretty solid decision, but Alexander Rakic is not Alex Pereira.
no.
Alex Pereira is going to knock Ankalaev out. I don't know which round. but I believe it's going to happen. I think Alex has defended enough
of these takedowns. He's shown that he can defend against them enough that even if he gets taken down once, it's not that big of a deal.
True. And then he's one of those weird ones, and I'm gonna glaze him and praise him for the rest of this, pod. But when you have that type of power that we've seen him carry into the last minute 30 of a 5-round fight, he's got hands of stone, dude. There's no way it's just, okay, I got taken down. The next round starts on the feet. I don't have power anymore. He's got all of it, dude.
You can wrestle fuck him for 4 rounds, and if you don't get him out of there, the threat of the knockout is still as relevant in 5 as it was in 1.
And you're tired too. So you better get that.
You better finish it.
You better get that takedown and lay and pray. Because if it's takedown, I didn't get it. Let me shoot again. That's gonna wear on you, brother. And I hope, like I told you, I hope he wakes up cross-eyed, more so now. I hope he wakes up and has to look in the mirror and be like, damn. I hope he has no excuses. Better man won. I hope he's respectful. I'll see you in the GFL, pal.
It's time. All that trash talk, all that he's ducking me. Time to put up or shut up.
I still got Ankalaev. And I hate that. I hate it.
That is the only fight that we are breaking off.
So that is the Brazilian rights are there. The bragging rights, the BRs.
If Alex wins, I will be right beside you cheering on. Chama. I will be right there celebrating. I have no problem giving up bragging rights, or the least opportunity of having bragging rights. And if I do win, I will not bask in the victory. I promise.
It'll be a painful one. We've all been there. Well, sir, do you have anything else to say about UFC 313?
Chama. I hope Aaron Pico gets signed soon. He's not a free agent, but the PFL are playing this game. Or like, oh, he's available to sign. He just has to have a meeting and contracts and all this shit. It's time to give it up, dude. PFL, you're not. PFL Bellator, you just not. Go ahead. Patricio Pitbull just got signed. I think he's gonna fight Yair Rodriguez.
That's pretty crazy.
It's gonna be awesome. That's a crazy dangerous fight. Look out for more if you're an avid UFC fan, or if you're just a casual. There's gonna be guys fighting the top fighters that you might not necessarily know. Just know that it's probably because they're getting auctioned off by the PFL and PFL/Bellator.
It's getting weird. There's a lot of weird signings going on. But you know what? If you come to a pay-per-view and you don't know a name, we're here. We got you.
Oh, yeah.
Even if we don't know it, we do the research on the show. So you actively see me finding out who these people are. What's more authentic than that?
You have other casual podcasts that I believe, I don't even want to shout them out. You guys go do your own research on this one. Dominic Cruz walked off of their podcast for something dumb that they said. I'll elaborate, never. But he goes, yeah, I'm just going to let you think about that. And he walks off their podcast. And I'm like,
that's pretty funny.
Of course. Which doesn't take a lot to piss off Dominic Cruz.
No.
But other than that, we will see you guys at the UFC 313 post show. We're out.
Chama.